Hi everyone, this is Meeta and today I wanted to introduce my 144 properties tracker. You can use it for multi-unit properties, single family properties. It is extremely easy to use, no complicated setting up of accounts, and you can enter all of your income transactions and all of your expense transactions for all your properties in a single sheet. And the dashboard will give a bird's eye view of how all your properties are performing. It comes with a bunch of features like a vendor list. It has a mortgage calculator, a HELOC calculator, a taxes due tracker, an insurance due tracker, a maintenance tracker, and it comes with 3 fixed expense tabs, which are very useful for fixed expenses like debt service or taxes and insurance. So let's see how this works. Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to give a brief demo of my 144 properties rental tracker. And I'm going to jump right into the fun part and start entering transactions so you see how easy it is. This is the income tab where you will enter all your income transactions for all your properties. So let's start. Enter a date. Choose a property, let's say unit 3-1. Choose the category, rent, and let's say we entered the amount as $1,500, and that's it. All the other columns are optional and you can enter the information in them as you wish. You can enter a tenant name over here, say James Smith, the start and end date of the rental period, the rent due date, say it's going to be February 1st for the next month, and the security deposit that this person paid if he has just started renting. Then if he has paid you a security deposit of $2,000, enter that here. And any notes, he has a pet. We can now enter information for another property. Say we received some income on Jan 20 from property 9-1, and the rent we received was $2,000, and it was from Dean Jones. As you can see, the total income over here gets added up, and you'll also see all this information in your dashboard. Next, let's go to the expenses tab. Let's enter a date. Then choose a property. Let's say we choose 3-1 again. A category, say an appliance purchase for $500. And then you can choose a vendor. You have 100 vendors you can choose from. We'll choose vendor 1 and a receipt number if you want to enter it. And any notes like say a refrigerator purchase. As you can see, the expense gets shown over here, and it will also get shown in the dashboard and for the month, for the property, and you'll also see it for the unit 3-1. You also get a breakdown by income, expenses, the income category. As you can see, unit 3-1 received $1,500 in rent. Unit 3-1 had $500 in expenses towards appliance purchase. So the unit dashboard gives you a breakdown of all of your income and expenses for all of your units, and you get to see by month and by category. And the main dashboard shows you a breakdown by each property. So like property 3 has 2 units in it, and all of the units' income and expenses will get added up and shown in the main dashboard. And the main dashboard also gives you metrics like return on investment, cap rate, occupancy rate, investment current value, as well as the breakdown by month and by category. Now, just to give a better idea as to how the spreadsheet and the dashboard will look after some entries have been made, I have gone ahead and added some data. As you can see, it is similar to how I entered it before. Enter the date,
enter the property. Just choose from your list of properties over here. Enter the category. In this case, we've chosen rent, the amount, the tenant name. And since she joined this month, I have entered the start and end dates over here and the deposit that she's paid. Similarly, I've gone ahead and entered some data in the expenses tab. Again, the date, the property, just choose whichever property you wish to. The category, you can choose, I've chosen landscaping, you can choose any other category, enter the amount, the vendor, from the vendors list becomes a drop-down list, and any notes. Now if we go to the dashboard, you'll see it's populated with all the information for January, February, March, and so on for all your properties. The year-to-date summary for each property, income, expenses, profit, and the margin. Next, you also get your return on investment, cap rate, occupancy rate, what your investment was and what the current value is. Everything gets listed out here. You get your income by each month for each property, and then you get your expenses for each property by each month. The income sources are broken down, rent that you got for each property. The operating expenses are also broken down. And then you get these neat graphs at the bottom. The graphs show how much each of your properties contributed to your profit, to your income, to your expenses, and the percentage of each expense category. It also shows you how much you got in income, expenses, and profit from each of your properties. Now, if we look at the unit dashboard, this gives you similar information as the main dashboard, except that it is further broken down into information for each of the units in each of your properties. If we go to the property settings tab, this is where all of your property address and property code would be entered. I will be configuring this spreadsheet for you for your property configuration. And over here you can enter information for all of your properties. Plus, this is optional. If you were to enter the down payment, remodeling, and other costs, as well as the current property value and the units occupied, you would get the metrics out here in the dashboard, where you get to see the return on investment, cap rate, and the occupancy rate. These get calculated from the property settings out here. There's also a very neat rent due date tracker included in the property settings. So say the rent due date for this particular property is Feb 15th, and you'll see that it is overdue by 1 day because today is February the 16th. Now say the rent due for this property is March 5th. You'll see there's no, it doesn't get highlighted in rent because it's not due yet. This spreadsheet also comes with 3 fixed expense tabs, which are very useful for saving time. Say for example, property 3 has $500 in a fixed debt service amount for each month. So instead of going in and entering it for each month, just enter it once over here, and it will get automatically populated for the rest of the months and will also show up in the dashboard. So this is the $6,000 that you would pay for the whole year for debt service towards property 3. And you also have 2 other fixed expense tabs, like the insurance fixed expense tab and the taxes fixed expense tab. Same way, just enter one amount and it gets auto-populated for all the months of the year. And you can change these to whatever name you want to give them for whatever fixed expenses you want to try. Let's look at some of the settings pages. The first settings page is where you can enter your name or company name, and you can change the fiscal period. You can also change the income and expense category names as you choose. Simply go in and type in. You can call this another income. You can change any of the expense categories. Just go in and type, like say pool expenses. Next we come to the vendor settings. Over here you can change the names of the vendors. Say we call this Home Depot. You can enter the contact person and all the contact information that you need for each vendor. and this will show up as the drop down list in your expenses category, like say Home Depot. There's also a taxes due tracker included, and this allows you to track when your tax is due. You can enter the tax amount, say it's 2,000, the tax that you've already paid, say you paid 500 and there's a balance due. And when the date goes, say beyond, say now today's February 16th and this date is February the 5th, then you see the number of days overdue is 11. Just like the taxes due, there is also an insurance due tracker, and again this tracks the number of days remaining and any days that are overdue. So say this insurance due for this property is April 18th and today's February 16th, so there's 62 days remaining. There's also a maintenance schedule tracker. You can simply say yes or no next to any of the properties. So say the trim trees and shrubs item has been done already, just put a yes, or you can put a no, as you like. Then we have this mortgage payments calculator, which shows you the monthly principal and interest payments that you would be paying. Simply enter your loan amount here, say 150,000. The loan term, let's leave it at 30 years, and the interest rate, let's say, is 4%. You'll see your monthly payment is $716. It will show you the total original interest, and say you make some extra payment out here, like say $500, then it's going to show that you will save $1,000 in interest, and you'll save 2 months in time.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Do please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I will be leaving a link to this spreadsheet in the description and comment section below. And do please leave me your comments and questions, and I'll catch you on my next video.